Hi everyone, welcome back to our podcast, Mindful Minutes. This is your host, Tanay Sarpogdar. Mindful Minutes is a platform to brainstorm marketing ideas and strategies specifically for small and medium businesses. This is episode 4 of season 1. Thank you for being so supportive of this podcast and, in fact, being a lot more patient. There have been a lot of holidays and events happening in between, but all in all, we are back again. Hope you all are having a wonderful holiday season and are gearing up to come back in full swing as well. I am super excited too, and as always, grateful to our sponsor, Marinoid, the marketing agency and strategic consulting firm that's designed to empower SMBs. They're helping us bring you the best insights in B2B marketing, and I'm sure you guys are enjoying it as well. For the 4th episode, I have with me a kind of mirror image of myself, but with a lot more energy and zeal. Please welcome Shraddha Agrawal, founder of DigiDNA, an avid marketer, IIM grad, and someone who enjoys helping companies achieve their dream, which is why I said a lot more like me. Of course, she'll share a lot more of her achievements as we talk through. But first things first, I must mention and thank a marketing leader who's helped us connect. There have been a lot of such amazing gems, and she's the one who's helped us kind of connect a lot of them. Her name is Manisha Khadge. She's always had high praise for Shraddha and all the other fellow colleagues she's worked with, like Aditya Vulkar. I can go on and on and on. But there's a common thread amongst us. We all love marketing and we all love to be the difference maker. I'm sure, I'm also going to try and lure all of them to our Mindful Minutes podcast in 2024. But for now, let's break down some industry jargon, let's hear some success stories, and walk through some common challenges faced by SMBs in their marketing endeavors. Hey Shraddha, thank you for accepting the invitation and welcome to our Mindful Minutes podcast, Season 1.
Hey, hi Tanay. Thanks for inviting me. I'm so excited to be here. What's more exciting is we are going to talk about marketing. And for this topic, I can go on and on. And having conversation with someone who understands marketing end to end is even more exciting.
Awesome. Yes, this is going to be about marketing, a different perspective about marketing, and absolutely a casual talk. So there's going to be a lot of examples, I'm sure, from your end. I've enjoyed our interactions even before this podcast was recorded. So marketing is our common thread. So let's start with that. How did you get introduced to marketing? Was it something you always wanted to do, or how would you like to expand?
So actually, I started my journey as a research analyst. So initially and during studies, I was good at math and analytics, numbers and so on. So I was enjoying a research analyst and the data, Excel sheet, numbers and so on. And later, I got introduced to digital marketing, and I'm talking about 2011, 2012. Since then there was no marketing or digital marketing budge as that time. So at that time, I've started learning a digital marketing, like SEO, social media, the lead generation part, and everything. So I've done a year course, and then got a chance platform to test few other things and so on, and started exploring things practically in different companies. And I enjoy working as a digital marketer. It's not feels like that I'm working. And best part, that is something is, I get to learn new things every week, every month. So learning a new things gives me a dopamine rush. Yeah. And following my passion after 12 to 13 years, I thought of starting digital marketing agency, that is a DigiDNA. and we have served so far 12 plus clients, and it's in globally. And then we are trying specifically SMBs to grow their business, and trying to be a digital marketing partner and creating a result.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I like the example that you gave in. That's a dopamine rush. Was it something that you picked from Simon Sinek or any other stuff that you've heard? Because I love reading about this guy, and dopamine is something that uh, is the juice that gets secreted for the passion that comes out, especially when people hear their mobile phone ringings. People want to go and do it. So it's more of a stuff that you love to do it, or you want to do it, or things that get pushed to you, but you enjoy doing it also. So in a good way, that dopamine rush is nice. You started your own company, so that's a very bold decision that you take. You own a company now. You started as a marketer, but now you are more of a CXO and a CEO level. You don a lot of other hats also. What do you think are the key factors that small and medium businesses should consider when searching or choosing a marketing agency, and how important it is to first align goals with so third parties or agencies capabilities in this case?
Yeah, so the first question is like Simon Sinek, or from where I've picked up. So I have read one book that is a Ikigai, and in that I got to know and I dig deeper, like what I'm enjoying, what people need in this world, and then what is something that I'm happy doing about. So that all thing is something digital marketing for me. So I love what I'm doing. So that's why the thing first. Almost all my clients are SMBs clients, and I realized one thing specifically, that first of all, CEO should be clear about what they really want to do, because many clients of or in that sense many CEOs in the corporate I have worked with, sometimes they want everything in one go, like branding, lead generation, business expansion, some event, and so on. So most of the time, all we want doesn't work when we have, let's say, 100 people company or 10-20 people company. So it doesn't work like that. We need to narrow down the objective. We need to narrow down what exactly we want to opt for a gain for that. So from CEO, from CEO should become that where to reach, how to do it, what to do it. That can be figured by the agency or in-house team or anyone. But where the company should reach, what is a business objective, that should come from the CEO. So that is very important. The vision, the goal, and the business objective, what the exact problem the company, product, or service are trying to solve. And three more things can be considered in this thing. Once CEO knows that where to reach, now few things. Maybe we can list three things most importantly. First, what is a strategical digital presence? Some message should be there. Just for example, one product. For example, we can take a DigiDNA example. What is my USP is I want to help small, medium enterprise or small business owners who cannot afford real in-house team, I can say, or they don't want to build a in-house team, but they just have some agency who can help them to create a results. So now, if the message is clear in my website, on my social media, or whenever we talk, then it would make sense for some of my clients to get me as an agency, because I am telling that I can reduce your cost and create a result because I am an expert. So that is something, one part, and everything should be communicated in all platforms. Like one thing should be communicated in all platforms, one message. And then second, data driven decisions. Whenever we start working with any SMBs, we initially get lots of data. like which kind of things are working, keywords are working, which kind of campaign are working, which module are getting us a traction, and so on. Sometimes company owners and like CEOs thinks that this product will work, but sometimes in the market situation, uh, it's not the case. So something will work in India will not work in Malaysia. That happened just 2 weeks ago for one of my client. We have just changed whole module. We have just changed all content and what we are talking about. So now it's working. So sometimes geography, sometimes whatever data we get from different campaign, we need to improvise with the data. And third, the communication transparency is very important, because for example we are running some campaign, and we are getting lots of data, what is a leads per se. So which kind of lead are working, which kind of leads are converting, or maybe some demo is happening, and so on. So what is a target ICP, what is a MQL SQL, this all things should be clear, and what is a user persona, and then from the lead comes in the CRM to salespeople, proposal, and closing. Everything should be clear in terms of what exactly value proposition or problem we are solving for the customer. So, to summarize, I think I can say strategic digital presence, data driven decision, and transparency and adaptability. That's three things I think should be taken care.
Perfect. I mean, wonderful way to put it. And in fact, thank you for sharing your live examples also. Uh, there's a lot more that you might be getting while interacting with your customers than what people usually learn from their courses, or some things that people learn via certifications and stuff like that. Yeah. There's a different way in which people even pursue a third party agency. So wonderful to hear that when is the right time, or when should a CEO or a CXO think about choosing a marketing agency. Wonderful. Moving on. So you mentioned a lot of other things. I've noted a couple of factors like transparency, or the size of the agency, or what has been the portfolio of the agency, or how much budget do I have to work with an agency, or how much budget probably the agency has worked with, or creativity wise. So when we see a digital marketing agency's website, there's a lot of portfolio items mentioned. Some of them show the portfolios, some of them just mention the companies they work with, they show the logos. Which ones do you think matter the most, and how much rather they should matter when a company or an SMB is trying to finalize working with a digital marketing agency?
Sure. I think all are important, but I think transparency is a paramount. It involves open communication about strategies, and then performance metrics, how you use the budget, what exactly the result you want from the agency. Because many times I've encountered, whenever we have a discussion what exactly we want to achieve, that is something vague, or as per se I want everything. Sometime you decide whatever you think you are good at, or sometime let's see what it works. If the answer is like this three, then usually it will not work. But when we have like I said in the earlier question also, what to do can be decided, but where to reach, that is something come from CEO. So business objective, a clear business goal should come from the CEOs or the management person, and that should be defined and communicate precisely to the agencies. And then apart from that, the open communication. Sometimes they also face they have hired an expert. That means they don't have in-house team, or they don't have bandwidth to do that, or they don't have expertise to do that. So now whenever they face some challenges, they should communicate what challenges they are facing, or some feedback if some because they are industry expert and we are helping them, and they are in the business last 10-20 years in the same industry, and then they have some competitors, they are some in within some ecosystem, then they can definitely give us a proper open communication, open feedback. And one most important thing I have encountered is budget discussion. Many founders sometimes are say, just let me know what all thing, what is the forecast, what is the thing you want, and so on. And some say, yeah, I leave it up to you, or some say, this is the limited budget I have, and this in this what else can be done. So sometimes founders say this x amount, like one x amount we have, and then we need to create a result on ABC. But frankly and practically, sometimes it's not possible, because there are lots of things need to be taken care in this particular budget. So budget discussion is very important. Many founders are not transparent enough, and sometimes they are hesitant to discuss this all thing as with the agency sometimes. So that is also big challenge in this. And then data accessibility. So many clients don't give agencies a CRM access, or many few different data points access. I understand privacy is very important and they cannot share, but few things, like if some leads have been generated by the campaign, and then what's a result of that particular lead, and what's going on with this particular account, that is something should be accessible to agencies. And definitely the most important part is feedback loop, which I have mentioned, that because collaborative feedback, whatever owner wants, whatever is a practical and can get it done, or can we can achieve, when this both merge, then result creates from the owner and from the agency. So it's a kind of mutual partnership. If we have, then definitely we can create a great result. And here transparency is very important for building a trust. When we take example of company, agencies, team, we deal with human, and if in every aspect there is a human, if we can build a trust in between agency, team, or client, and everyone, then it is a kind of symbiotic relationship within the business, so that we can deliver a better result. So yeah, transparency is very important here.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you gave a different way in which you're looking at our agency company relationship. How about, you give me a example of what would be the best questions as a CEO of a marketing agency you would expect, or what do you think should a company be asking as a best question set to get the best output from a digital marketing agency? What would be those 5 questions, or any question, any number of questions you want to talk about? Which would be the best way they will reap the most benefits out of DigiDNA or any marketing agency as such?
Yeah. So first, the expertise part, the industry information, the past experience, that is there. But whenever I pitch, at least I do a proper research about the company, about the client, what's the competitors. If we are in proposal state, then what all thing they are providing, what problem they are solving, and so on. So the question I think they can ask is, what do you think is something we can market? Because whenever we are founder, because I am also owning company, I have an emotion with DigiDNA. Sometimes a person have a emotion. For example, Tanay has created one product, and he just trying to build A, B, C, D, all sort kind of features in that product. He's not sure, or he are not they to market research to that feature is required in the market or not. So sometimes to take different perspective and from the other side of table is very important. So what can be a market message, or what we can target as a USP as a marketing perspective, and what will be the channels and what would be the budget. So this all questions should be asked from the digital marketing agencies. And definitely what would be the metrics, how you'll measure that, what would be the ROI, that is a business part. But first we need to understand what exactly we need to talk about the product.
Correct. So wonderful. You touched based on the aspect of budget very much. Of course, transparency is the paramount, you said, but budget is also key, as is ROI, you mentioned. So what do you think? How should an SMB assess the ROI of, let's say, DigiDNA or a marketing agency's services? And while doing so, are there any potential pitfalls they should avoid? As in, they shouldn't go in that direction, otherwise it will lead to a different discussion altogether, which is not required. What is it that when somebody is assessing an agency's ROI, what is important? Where should the discussion go about? Like, for example, when I've had a discussion with an SEO agency, most of the times they talk about our impressions. So I know impressions are good, but you can't have an entire discussion going on for impressions when your goal is lead generation. Or when you're talking about an event, what is important in that event? What was expected from the agency to deliver when they were working on SEO, or when they were working on any paid campaigns? So it's very important that somebody assesses the ROI of a marketing agency correctly. People don't usually give out emails wherein they note down the goals every email and they track those goals. So just help us out in telling how should an SMB assess the ROI in the best possible way to reap the best possible output from an agency.
Right. So as you rightly said, that transparency is one part, but ROI is like also very crucial. Actually, we all are in a business. Maybe we are doing a job or any kind of business. We need ROI, right? We need a result. Rest everything is story. If there is a no leads, how many impression or billion impression doesn't matter. If there is a no closing on one event, there is a no closing, then nothing matters. So what I think we can think of is like, we need to define the clear objective. I mean, the agency owner should be clear by the CEO that what is the objective of this whole particular campaign. Many people I have encountered with, they usually say, we just want to do a branding, we just want to reach. After 1 or 2 months, they say, where is a lead generation? So now the objective should be clear. If there is a lead, then we will run a certain kind of campaign, and vice versa. So the defining a clear objective by the CEO to agency is a crucial. Second, what were the KPIs? I mean, how that we would measure that particular objective. Because they can be some, like you rightly said, the impression, we cannot get a business from the impression. That cannot be ROI. But yeah, that is a metrics good to track, but they'll not get us a result. So what will get us a result? MQL or SQL. So in MQL, what would be the measurement if we'll say the MQL? So that all parameters should be set and then should be communicated to like agency owner or agency's team by the CEO or by the internal team. So that is the thing. And apart from that, the reporting, regular reporting, because in digital marketing there is a no right or wrong. So this will work or this will not work. Nobody can say that in a day one. What we usually do is we just start with basic thing, whatever we know in the past experience or from the industry or from the notes from the founder and so on. But the reporting analytics is very important here. whenever we run any campaign for a month, for a week, then we gather lots of data. We start utilizing that particular data in a campaign performance. And for that performance, we utilize analytics to track ROI. So this all thing, and apart from these three things, one more important thing is communication and collaboration. Many times it happened that we have done something and they are thinking something, and there is a no communication. There is a some kind of communication from the CEO because of bandwidth issues. Sometimes they are traveling. Sometimes they don't have certain people in a team who can coordinate. So one point of contact from the SME is also required for the agency to communicate it properly. So when I will summarize this point, because this is the most important point in terms of ROI, because everybody are doing business. So ROI is something, can be up by the defining clear objectives, establish KPIs, regular reporting and analytics, and communication and collaboration mutually. So that all thing is something very important. And you have asked for the pitfalls also. So I have encountered very vague metrics sometime. So that is something, the impression is good, but sometime how many people have landed on the website doesn't make sense. Sometime A/B testing, sometime heat map of that particular website. So that this all thing cannot be a metrics until somebody is not spending a good time or filling a form or talking, or they are clicking on scheduling a demo. So this all thing is a vague metrics. And again, lack of clear communication, that I have already covered. And sometimes people have unrealistic expectation. Once a real estate client told me that they want 6 to 7 qualified leads in a week. And I started laughing at that time. That home costing approx 4.5 crores in Pune only. And I said, no, it's not possible. If you spend 2 lakh, 3 lakh in a month also, you have to wait. 1 or 2 or 3 are fine. And that lead definition was somebody should sign up, visit the place, and that is a qualified lead. So max 1 or 2 in a week is a realistic thing. So sometimes people expect unrealistic expectation also. So that also is a pitfall, like CXOs should avoid. And ignoring a data analytics. Sometime in one sector, I have realized that data is okay, but I want to do this. This is okay, but I think social media will create a result. That attitude should not be there. Why? Because social media is just for awareness, for we feel good. Like 40 likes, 45 likes, 400 likes, and 4,000 likes. But that will not give us a result anytime. We will get a result once demo is scheduled, once sales happening, once we are coordinating, and so on. So that is something is can be ignored. The data cannot be ignored, but yeah. So that is something CXO should be taken care. And yeah, sometimes we have started with some companies, and then alignment of goal was different, and after some time it changes. We have started with the LinkedIn marketing, and they think that LinkedIn is very costly. Then they have changed a Google Ads, and they have changed sometime of SEO. So if you will change, if you will tell agency what to do, you are in a bad position, or it will not create a result. Why?
Correct.
Because what to achieve, that you need to think of. How to achieve, if you will tell, then it will not work, because the channel is something that takes a lots of strategic mind, or which channels will offer that particular lead. That is something is an expert thought process, and we can definitely brainstorm, because you are an industry expert, and then somebody is an expert in digital marketing and channel. So the collaboration is important here. So this all pitfalls, I think agency that CXOs should avoid.
Amazing, amazing. Lots of examples there in between, and the way I mean, it's good that we are brainstorming, and I would love to share a little bit the way I've also heard it. I've kind of divided these pitfalls into two parts. There are internal pitfalls and there are external pitfalls. So, like
Mhm.
you mentioned, internal, there's a lack of alignment in between the team members itself. There's a different messaging which one member tells you, and there's a different messaging which you are you were finalized with. Or there could be a lot of gaps, skill level gaps between an agency and or the company with whom you're working with. So, like, you've delivered a lead, but if they're not able to convert, then there's going to be a problem. So, commitment, overcommitment, definitely. Dependency, there'll be, you must have had a lot of client dependencies. So they've told you to deliver very fast, but they are not giving you the data points that you need. There's no content offer that you can promote, and they want you to promote. So then that also doesn't happen. Or external factors could be a lot of competition stuff comes up, client expectations, like you mentioned, 6-7 leads worth 4 CR in a week, and you want them to be in such a way that they are converted leads. So your sales team should go home, and you should be the one who should get the entire incentive and stuff. So probably a flat along with. So,
True.
so every 4 flats, give me 1 flat. Then I'll do that. or, or even privacy concerns, data privacy concerns you mentioned, economic downturns. So, like we had COVID and stuff like that, or negative publicity. I mean, I've seen that publicity in good way and bad way, but both are still publicity. If you can match it, then it is good. But mostly it's a pitfall. So people fall for it. People usually delete negative comments and then they fall for it, stuff like that. But overall, as a agency and a company, when we are talking, the expectation mismatches happen on 5 levels that I see. The ROI we focused, performance metrics, which is a misalignment between what was decided and what is a success metric. Budget expectation, they don't give you the budget in the first place and they expect results, or they give you a budget and the expected result doesn't match. So definitely communication frequency, I know we've not talked a lot more on this, but I'm sure that's a big concern also, wherein expectation mismatches, because you want things to be communicated frequently, clearly. uh, that could lead to dissatisfaction. And if scope is unmanaged, so that's the fifth one, wherein the scope changes every 15 days, every 1 month, every 3 months, then that cannot help. So let's say we've finalized 10 keywords, that they have to stay stable for at least 6 months. They cannot change. So tier one keywords cannot change every month. Uh, Likewise. So that's my end on it. But wonderful to hear your aspects on what or how could we decode a marketing agency for an SMB. So to understand how SMBs can better cater to their needs with an agency, because there's a lot more that agency can deliver, and you have to leave it to the agency. They are the experts, so leave it to how it is to be done to the agency, not meddle
It's
in
right.
every small and nook and corner. Just look at whether we're going in the right direction or not. Otherwise, you don't need to meddle with an agency. They are the experts in their field. So that is what I feel is the key here. So wonderful. This has been a wonderful session, Shraddha. There are a lot of points that we can take about. Before we end this podcast, as a specialist opinion, Shraddha, what do you recommend our listeners who could be founders or marketers or learners? What would be your recommendation as a specialist?
Yeah. So first of all, I would like to thank you, and then I have enjoyed thoroughly this podcast. That was my first experience, and you has been a great host, and I was making me comfortable and enjoyed thoroughly. Thank you for that. And when it comes to recommendation, founders, as you rightly said, that it's an investment, not a cost center. So they need to understand the value it brings, the digital marketing agency brings to the table in terms of brand building and brand expansion. When it comes to marketer, I would like to suggest is any agency, in-house team, or anyone, just blend a data with your creativity in campaign. That's how you can get more successful campaign. We can build a you can build a business. So that is something is very important. Blend your creativity with the data. For learner, you said, so maybe seek mentorship and stay curious, because digital landscape is ever evolving. Anytime after a month or a week also sometime is happening, and lots of new thing is coming up. So that is something is very important as a learner. And now in internet there's a lots of resources and case studies, and then videos are available to learn. But yeah, the mentorship is very important here. And in summary, we think I think keep things fresh with new ideas, use data to guide your decision, and never stop learning for long lasting success, because it is ever evolving landscape, and many time it happens that there is a new things is coming up. Then we need to blend with the ideas, and we need to understand the data. And yeah, so this all thing I would like to summarize on.
Awesome. I love the way you've finalized the pointers, and thank you for your recommendation. It is definitely going to help everybody who's a would-be marketer, or who's a keen learner, or even somebody who's going to be, thinking about starting their own agency like you've done. I do wish all the best to DigiDNA, and we're going to talk a lot more in future as well. Thank you. Thank you to all the listeners again for tuning in. I would love to know how you felt about this episode. Don't worry, I'm not yet narrowing down on the next episode yet, but it's sure going to be on the lines of technical aspects in digital marketing, or somewhere around adventures in cross-channel marketing. So stay tuned on Mindful Minutes. In the meantime, do subscribe, rate, and review this channel, and follow me on LinkedIn for more updates. Remember, marketing is not a cost center, it's an investment center. Let's treat it like one. This is Tanay Sarpoddar on Mindful Minutes. Thank you for joining us. Namaskar. Take care.